What's going on, guys? It's Chris. I'm here with my buddy Richie.
What's up?
We just got done filming about a 25-minute video talking about
how much we love each other.
Yeah, pretty much. This guy, he's done amazing things. If you are pretty much anywhere in life, you need to read this guy's book.
Well,
you need to listen to this interview. It literally just so much value, so much heart with what's going on in the world today. I just think, honestly, I'm just
Thanks,
grateful
brother.
that we got to have this
that
conversation.
means the world. Yeah,
because there's a ton of value to be added. So check it out, and we'll see you on the end. Hey, what's going on, Cash Flow Hackers? It's Chris from Life 180. Today, I've got just an amazing guest, Richie Norton. Owns a company called Product.
Yep.
Just launched a great book. I haven't read it, so I can't say it's great, but I assume it's great.
You can still say it.
It's a great book. My wife, here's the deal. I got to tell you guys. So I met Richie 3 weeks ago at a mastermind, and I just loved his energy out of the gate. We've kind of stayed in contact. We're working on a couple projects. He's helping me with a couple projects. His company called Product is helping me. You do a lot of things. I'll let you explain what that is.
Yeah.
But his new book is Anti-Time Management, which I know for all you life insurance agents, financial advisors, like that sounds like your head wants to explode because it's all about time blocking and managing our life and like living with time management, right? And so it's kind of crazy when you look at it like that. But I woke up this morning to come here. My wife is at the event with me. We're at Funnel Hacking Live, which, by the way, if you haven't come to this event, you need to be here. It's
amazing.
Amazing. Even if you didn't learn anything, just the people you meet and investing in yourself, it's important. But like, I woke up this morning and I talked to my wife, and she's like, "Chris, I started reading Richie's book. He is the most beautiful person in the world." Like it was legit, man. Like, my wife is in love with you. I'm like as a human being, she thinks you're amazing. Right. And so, it's so talk to me, like what does your company do? How do you go from the company that you own? What inspired your book? Help me walk through this.
Well, let me say this. Like, something super important is the idea to value your time, but not time your values. So most people under time management and even in retirement planning and even in all this financial stuff, they time their values. They'll say that one day I'll do this thing. Instead of saying, since I already know I like that thing, why don't I bake it in from the start and then create a moat to protect it, right? So, I live in Hawaii. I work from my cell phone, I write books. So I have a company where we make over 100 different products at any given time, end-to-end supply chain. Yep. I work in some traditional spaces, but I do it non-traditionally. So I'm trying to protect my time, my family, where I spend my time, how I spend my time, when I choose. I mean, because at the end of the day, like, freedom is doing what you want. Yeah. Freedom is having the ability to feel like you can, So I guess to answer your question, I wrote a book a while ago called The Power of Starting Something Stupid. Okay. And this book did good. And it's like the start your stupid idea.
Starting something stupid. That's awesome. And I got to get that book.
You got to get that one too. I know. But it's in like 10 different languages now.
Really?
Brene Brown blogged about it and it blew up. Like, it became this awesome, little thing.
What year did you do that?
I think that was published in 2013. Okay. So, cool. I mean, it's been a while.
Almost a decade,
almost 10 years ago.
God, we're getting old.
But I know we are getting old. It's crazy. And like one side note for anyone that writes a book or anyone that does anything, treat whatever you're doing as if it's still new. Yeah. Because it is still new for everyone else. I mean, not for you.
Man,
even now it's still new for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's new for me.
It's new. It's new for you. And that helps you keep that startup excitement going. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's a cool perspective.
So anyways, but some sad stories. I won't take a long time or make everybody cry right now. But
apparently you can read the book for this. My wife said it's a tearjerker. But go ahead.
We had a bunch of tragedies, that happened in our family. But when I realized that life is short, and that's not just some cliche. Yeah. It's like a real thing. You start seeing time different. You start seeing the way you do things different. I had part of it is I had a son pass away. I had a brother-in-law pass away. They're both named Gavin. We named our son after our uncle that his uncle that had passed away. And someone said, "What did you learn from your son passing away, from your brother-in-law passing away?" And I said, "I don't know. What am I supposed to say?" What do you? But I came up with something that I call Gavin's Law, which is live to start to live. Meaning, when you live to start those ideas that are pressing on your mind, you really will start living. Yeah. And START is an acronym for START: serve, think, ask, receive, and trust.
Ooh,
So you
I
reach
like
out,
that.
you're always adding value, you're always doing these things first, and you're finding out what their dreams are, you're helping them live those dreams. You know, and the more you're able to do that, the more you're able to actually make your own stuff happen. But as a transformation, not a transaction. You know?
Serve, think, act,
Serve, think, ask, receive, and trust.
receive, trust. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I love it. I love
We can go deeper into all this stuff, but
Yeah.
that's kind of the idea. So all my businesses are built around the idea of how can I create time, not take time.
So Life 180 is an acronym
Oh.
for living intentionally for excellence.
Yeah, oh, I love that.
And also one I came up with after the fact is leading into financial excellence, because I think in order to really
That's good.
live intentionally, you gotta
Acronyms are the best, right?
Yeah, right. They are. They're so much fun. And the 180 is all about like
Yeah.
95% of the people in the world are not living the life that they want to live. So like, let's turn it around. Live intentionally.
I like that.
And start doing it, right? And so with all that said, I think, you know, in order to live intentionally, you gotta be. I mean, you hit the nail on the head, and I've never really put it in concise words that, you know, you just put it in. But it really starts with and my wife and I do this, and have made the decision that every decision we make with our careers is going to be based around us and lifestyle and our relationship.
Love
You know, it's not going to be about money. I walked away from a multi six-figure offer, bonus, annual salary, because I knew what it would do. It would pull me away from my family. And I looked around the room and I saw the people that took that offer and they were on their third marriage and had bad relationships with their kids and all this stuff. And I'm like, you couldn't pay me $1 billion for that.
I know.
You know?
I know.
And so one of the things that I talk about with everybody is like, we have to be intentional about what we're trying to create. And one of the, you know, because I talk a lot about money, right? And that's what this channel is, and whatever. But really, money is just a tool to help you live the life that you want to live.
Totally.
And what you're saying is like, start just living the life you want to live in a way. Before, it's kind of like the parable about the fisherman in Mexico. You know that one?
Yeah, totally like that. Yeah.
The where he's got the fleet of boats. Or no, he's got the one ship and he takes people out, and this one guy comes down and is like, you know what you need? I can help you get really wealthy. And he's like, well, then what? Then you get a big fleet. Well, then what?
Yep.
You know, and at the end of the day, he's like, at the end, he ends up being able to retire on the beach.
You can hang out. He's like, I'm doing that
right now every day, right?
No, that's exactly what it's all about. You know, I believe that money and meaning must go together. Not just that they can't, but that they must. Like, I know way too many wealthy people, including venture capitalists, who, quote, one said to me, money is easy, time is hard. Has all the money in the world.
That's so good. Oh man.
But then you go to these people, no judgment. They're on Wall Street. They're making all this money, but they have no meaning, or they made no time or space for the things they really love. And they get burnt out real quick. On the other end of the spectrum, you have these people who are great, loving people who are serving others, and they start nonprofits. Wonderful. But what happens is something called mission drift or mission creep, where they start focusing all of their attention on raising money and not helping the people they intended to help from the start. So there's actually a difference, you know, between intention and attention. Because a lot of people will be intentional about something, but never actually do it. People who will pay attention, you know, instead of managing their time, they start prioritizing attention. They make magic happen. So you can choose high money and high meaning, but it's a choice. You can't just do it as like it might happen. No, it has to happen on purpose.
I love that. I love that. So let's talk about that, like doing this on purpose, right? Like you're here, I'm here. I think I know I live a pretty intentional life, which is on purpose. You do the same thing. Like, why do you come to events like this? Like, because you have a lot of success. You've got your companies. You have people that work for you. TFN is amazing, right? Like, I actually met him last year here, ironically.
TFN's my business partner. He operates our product company, and he's genius. He really is.
He's a really phenomenal guy. So why do you come to events like this for you personally?
I don't go to that many events, and I kind of choose which ones I want to go to. But I go to the ones, not just where I might think I'll learn something, because I love learning. I really do. I love absorbing it. But in reality, like, I'm walking around the halls. I'm running into random people, but it's all people who are here for a similar reason. You know, there's opportunities to help. You know what I mean? and opportunities to find clients. And like this is like the perfect example. Like what's going on? I could never have planned for this.
Right.
I never could have expected it.
Right.
But because I knew I wanted to be in a certain place at a certain time, I knew there would be an environment for these
cultivation
coincidences,
totally.
to happen and to cultivate relationships. So really like coming to these kind of things is like getting that energy and that new idea of where I could go, what's next.
Yeah.
But really like meeting people in the halls. Like
I call them coincidences.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
That's really
like
good.
That my wife and I think actually I got to give her credit. I think my wife kind of like is the one who
you
introduced
trademarked that
to me.
thing.
Yeah, I know. I think she probably heard it from somebody, but I heard it from her. You know how it goes.
It's
but
good.
but yeah, it's amazing. So what would you say? Because my real passion is helping people live that intentional life and help whether it's a family out there, a breadwinner, somebody who's recovering from a loss, really regain control of their financial life, live intentionally, whether it's a financial advisor, life insurance agent who's trying to build, like, how do you navigate, like, because a lot of people come to us, and I deal with a lot of people that are there and have it and are just looking to optimize, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna serve those people, I'm gonna do that anyway, and those people are amazing, and I've got a team that can support them. But like, the people that I feel, and I'm just gonna be real vulnerable here, for me, the people that I feel I struggle with is because in my heart, I wanna serve people who are not where they wanna be. And want to get where they want, but there's mental blocks. And a lot of times, somebody said something yesterday that it's their thinking that's keeping them poor, right? And I can't remember how they said it, but it's like, what do you say to people, or how can I connect with those people to help elevate them to that level? Or like, what would you say to people who are in that level that are? No,
there's so many thoughts. One would be, our lives are led by the questions we ask.
Ooh, love that.
So ask a better question, get a better answer. And I had a mentor who said he's one of the top executive coaches in the world. His name's Marshall Goldsmith.
Nice.
And he said he can help people, and especially executives. That's where he plays in that space. But he can't if they don't care. If someone doesn't care, how do you help? Now you could start going through this whole like Maslow's pyramid of ways to help them. But if you were to focus your attention on where you can make the greatest impact and when and where, you have to care a lot. And you want to work with people that also care. There's an interesting thought, and maybe I'll use an analogy. So if someone says, like I said earlier, they have all these values, things they love, things they like, and one day they'll do them. That's like saying you're gonna bake a cake without sugar and expect it to be sweet. Now I know, like as keto people and stuff, we can put
like twitching.
We can put other stuff in it,
Monk fruit, guys. Monk
not
fruit.
Sugar. I get it. But if you really think about it, when you sacrifice what you love for success, you get neither. When you bake in your values from the start, it grows with you. If you want more time later, you should figure out a way to have more time now. If you want more money later, you should figure out how to have more money now. Make it super real. If you want to be fit later, is it better to start in 10 years?
No.
Or to start now? So then it gets real, because time's kind of abstract. When you start making it super real, it's super real. And when I say that, I don't mean it in just a philosophical way. If someone wants to start and grow a business, and they'll say they want to sell it, they're more likely to sell it if they're not a bottleneck to it. And when you start a business or whatever you're doing in your work, the way you work cements certain systems that disallow you to leave or do something new. So if you're going to cement systems anyway, you might as well cement systems that give you the time and freedom and autonomy and ability and availability you want immediately. And you go, I can't do that, how? And you go, ask a better question, get a better answer. And it creates something called positive constraints. No one's more productive than a procrastinator with an impending deadline.
That is the truth. And they are. I've been guilty of that several times.
Because they have all of a sudden work expands the amount of time given. That's called Parkinson's law. So if you have less time, if you're a responsible person, you still get it done. You just get it done more effectively, efficiently under these circumstances.
In the time frame.
That happens in everything. So instead of doing work, family on the fringe, whatever your values are, you put those first, and you create a moat to protect it, and you work in a way that consistently supports it. So a goal from experience is a task.
Yeah.
A goal outside experience is growth.
Got it.
And growth is new.
Yeah.
So to do something new, you have to be open to trying new things and doing things in different ways.
All right, so I'm gonna hit you. Dude,
too much, too fast.
No, man, I love you. You're amazing.
Okay.
So here's the thing, and this is maybe where I struggle a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Because listen, I grew up pretty, not poor, but lower middle class. I grew up in a trailer park. Until I was 10 or 11 years old. But I had amazing parents. They loved me. They gave me amazing values. I really had nothing to complain about in the grand scheme of things, right?
Yeah.
I haven't experienced any outside of some losses in sports that were pretty impactful when I was a teenager. Never really experienced anything traumatic. And so I know there are a lot of people struggling to get to that next level with money. Something's holding them back. They've got fear. They've got real life challenges that have kind of held them down, or they've held onto that they're having a hard time getting through. And I mean, knowing your story to the extent that I do, which I know isn't all of it, but you obviously embody the ability to go through this stuff and get through it. So if somebody's sitting there in this space and they kind of tell themselves they want that life, but they're stuck in the moat, they're stuck in the mud. How can you? Let me give you an example. I know that's a lot.
No, it's a real good question. Let me give you an example, and then I'll make it super real how someone could do it. So when my son passed away, later my wife and I were talking about the whole experience.
Yeah.
And one thing you don't think about is that you have to leave the hospital without your child.
Oh, dude,
So you come with a kid and then you leave empty-handed. Okay.
I don't know how you do that.
And I asked, I don't know either, and we didn't know either.
Yeah.
And so my wife said she felt like there was her name's Natalie.
Yeah.
She felt like there was another Natalie inside of her, a Natalie she didn't know, a Natalie she didn't understand, a Natalie that took her by the hand, and walked her out, with that. And I think there really is something inside of all of us, whatever you might think it is, whatever you might call it, that is bigger than us, more courageous than us.
Yeah.
But that's the real you. It's none of this fake it till you make it crap. That person, that better version of you, that's you.
Yep.
So it's be better, not bitter. And then to make it super real, someone can say, where do I want to be in 2 years? And they can work backwards. But if you have to make money next week, that's very different than making money over the next year or two.
Totally.
And the only answer is start with one. You have to get one client. Because they'll go, I have this business, I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna get a building, I'm gonna hire people, I need to start a YouTube channel.
It's a great vision.
I need to now do a TikTok thing. All that's great.
Yeah.
Do it all, maybe. But at the end of the day, when people come to me and they haven't made money for a while, and it's my first time talking to them, and they're trying to sell something, this is what I say. I say, when's the last time you asked somebody for their debit or credit card? When's the last time you asked someone for that check that comes with the policy?
Yeah.
When's the last time you asked someone to pay you? And they almost always go like this. And they get a little sunk in and they start thinking about, they can't remember the last time they asked someone to pay them. The reason this is key, as far as money is concerned, the reason this is key is because you can do all these activities and call it work, but if you define work as getting paid, you haven't worked a day in your life if you're not getting paid.
Yeah.
You're preparing to work or over preparing to work. So if you were to say, how did I get paid last time? What was the last thing that happened? What has to happen right before I get paid? And you were to say, I have to ask someone for a check, ask someone for the debit or credit card, ask someone to pay online, send that invoice. If that's it, then each day you're not sending 5 or 10 of those out or more.
Yeah.
You didn't even give yourself a chance to get paid. So it takes you off the hook, I couldn't got paid because it was impossible. But it puts you back on the hook because you're like, well, why aren't I doing those activities?
Yep.
So you can still do all these things, but it has to lead to how does the money actually get passed from one hand to the other? And this isn't about transactions. This is about having these relationships, getting to a point where you can do it.
Yep.
You get it. So you go I need to have 10 conversations a day to get one person to eventually buy, and then it all starts coming together. So someone who's really in the midst of it, they're having a hard time. Remember, grief is a tunnel, not a cave.
got to get through it.
It's going to be a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's normal,
and you can lay in bed all day, and also that's okay. No judgment. Watch binge Netflix, like whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at some point, you have to ask yourself a better question. Say, how can I do this thing without this terrible thing happening by next Tuesday? Yeah. So when you think more algebraically, instead of like yes and no, like a calculator or whatever, you open a space in your mind to get more creative and have the opportunity to have the courage to ask certain people to put you in situations where you can get, do the business you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I've realized recently, it's been an epiphany kind of for me in the last, let's say, 6 months or so, in talking to people with everything that's going on in the world. We just watched Brendan Burchard in there talk about kind of like the stages that the world and people have gone through kind of psychologically, so to speak, and as a society over the past couple of years with all the pandemic and coming out of it and all that stuff. One of the things that I've realized in the past 6 months that really resonates, I guess, is coming to the surface on a daily basis for me, is that people are not living actually in alignment with their values and their beliefs.
Oh no. They're not. They're not. And they're taking a path thinking that one day they will.
Yeah.
But time doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to just use exercise again, if you're trying to like build up your left arm, but you're only exercising your right arm, your right, it's not going to magically like
totally.
That's so the alignment thing is essential.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I know we got to wrap this up, but like, first of all, I want to have you on again.
Dude, we can talk forever.
I know. I literally could sit and talk to you all day long. So how can people find you? I know you're on Instagram.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
I'll put all the links below.
If you Google "Stupid Richie," I'm everywhere.
Stupid
you know what I mean?
Nice.
No, but go to richienorton.com. I have a 90-day challenge that helps people like figure out a lot of these things, like how to turn their ideas into reality, how to create time around it, how to create space around it. So you go to richienorton.com/time, and you'll get like a full like toolbox full of all kinds of like cool things you can do that are super valuable. Audios, videos, all the downloads, it's all free. So
really,
yeah.
That's awesome. So I'll put the link to the description to that, so everybody can kind of go down and do that. But man, it's been amazing getting to know you. I'm so excited about our relationship developing and cultivating, and it's amazing. So guys, if you have any questions, comment in the comment section below. I'll do my best to engage with every single one of them. Are you on YouTube, by the way? Do you have a YouTube channel?
I mean,
kind of, but
no.
I
should. So, I got the domain, but I'm not really doing anything.
Okay, that's fair.
But more on Instagram.
Okay, so I'll comment in the comment sections, or I'll respond. Go follow him on Instagram. I'll put the link over there to him. You got to go check him out. But yeah, that's it. Until next video, guys. Have a blessed, inspirational day. We'll talk soon. See you.
Thank you.